Legend of Zelda has always had a mesmerizing way of encapsulating an entire legacy of memories into a single aura, a feeling that somehow taps into our most nostalgic sentiments while simultaneously prepping us for our most exciting and new adventure to date.
My daughter.
I can't say enough about the mysticism of the Breath of the Wild trailer at the Nintendo Switch presentation. People have compared it to Miyazaki, people have called it Disney-like, but I'm going to make the most important comparison of all to Zelda. There was this unspoken charm that you can't help but smile while basking in, and this is nothing new for the Zelda franchise. Let's talk about my 6 most magical aspects that made this trailer truly charming, and why I'm looking forward to them most. Tell me yours in the comments. Number 1, Legacy. This trailer seemed to touch upon so many different aspects of the deep treasure trove of artwork, music, and design, and overall feeling that is The Legend of Zelda. Everything from old character designs like Nabooru, to callbacks to old treasures and items that we used to use when we were kids, to an overworld and open landscape that reminds us of the first Legend of Zelda for NES. It was simply overflowing with love letters to the fans, while somehow trudging into new and exciting territory. It's truly a feat of design and tapping into a deep legacy that I think a lot of other companies have been failing miserably at lately, and Nintendo seems to have nailed it with this perfect mix of new and old. They have both honored and respected our memories while adding to them, and sort of this accumulation of new material, and that's what makes this particularly exciting for me. And as always, it's going to be so interesting to see how they reinvent the classic, very simple fairy tale aspects of Zelda, and how they sort of retackle and redefine the norms for Zelda while respecting the classic story of saving the princess and fighting the evil that is Ganon, light versus dark. So I think we have a lot to look forward to. Number 2, voice acting. Now, I know this is a massively controversial topic for Zelda fans and really Nintendo fans in general as far as the first-party games are concerned. But for me, they've done it perfectly. Link still remains as the classic JRPG silent protagonist, but we've introduced this very robust voice acting cast, still having the charms and sort of mystical vibe as those old voice cues that were in Zelda, as far as N64 is concerned. And a lot of people will say, oh, voice acting in Zelda is blasphemy, it's preposterous, but again, think back to N64 and some of those little tones and vibes with just an uttering of a sound or a moan or a grunt that told us so much about a character, and you could just imagine their voice and their characterization from that little clip. So don't tell me that voice acting is new to Zelda, it's just being further utilized in this new format. Again, people like the Magic Bean Salesman. You know exactly what kind of character that is, and you get such a feel and vibe for his voice, and it just creates this charming, like almost Miyazaki-like feeling. What they've done is they've retained that with this great, very naturalistic voice acting, very emotive, different-sounding characters like the old man, like Zelda herself in this trailer. I'm just so excited. And again, I think really the only sacrilege that could be committed is if Link himself has a voice, besides, of course, the yelling and the screaming. So again, voice acting not new to Zelda, it's just this deeper utilization of it, while again respecting our view of the franchise. Silent protagonist, just like a Chrono Trigger, just like an older JRPG, but at the same time, letting us get further immersed into the world by having voice acting itself. So it's almost like a film. It's really exciting. Just the opportunity for the drama to unfold even deeper and to be able to grasp onto it a little more firmly. That's the strength of the voice acting, and I'm so excited for it. But let me know what you think. Number 3, the music. Even in this short trailer, we touched upon so many classic tunes from Zelda, from the dungeon puzzle-solving theme that chimed in as the Master Sword appeared on screen, almost like we're discovering it. And that's what that theme evokes, this mystery, this wonder. From, again, the build-up throughout the trailer, this epic build-up with the addition of choir, starting out only with piano, and then the strings, and then slowly the brass enters, and the percussion, and then the choir, and then finally the triumphant, victorious Zelda theme. This epic, heroic, classical tone comes charging in to bring us to the finale right when we see Princess Zelda right when we see all these classic callbacks, the Master Sword, Ganon, this evil energy, it's being brought back. Our memories are being brought back and melded just as that sound cue comes in and taps into our nostalgia. It was so well done, and it just bodes very, very well considering what the rest of this soundtrack may sound like. So again, I'm incredibly excited. One more thing about the music, again, is that it is fully orchestrated. Finally, this is a staple for Zelda. It should have been done so long ago. After going to the Hyrule Symphony of the Goddesses 2 years in a row so far, I can say that it is just, it needs to be orchestrated. The power and the grace and the magnificence of the orchestra truly has elevated a lot of the Zelda themes for me. And to see that brought back now in full force after kind of experimenting with a full orchestra, it's just glorious. We've seen games like Final Fantasy and other franchises do it. It is time. Number 4, artwork. Now again, as I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of callbacks to earlier designs, but they've done it in a way that sort of puts it into this new bright and vibrant color scheme, but they've changed things up. They have Link with a new outfit, still calls back to the green, and again, I feel like we're going to see him in the green classic Link outfit with the hat. That's pretty much a guarantee. He's going to come maybe even at the end of the game. He'll discover that legacy and he'll put that on. But even what we have now, again, I mentioned like that the Ocarina of Time N64 characterizations of like Nabooru. What I've always loved about Zelda is just the difference in characters and just the variety. You have people of all different ages and sizes and colors and stuff. It's just so interestingly done, from hair color to size of muscles. People that are like 15 feet tall. And then you have the Gorons in there, something that looks sort of like a Zora descendant and stuff. It's like this shark-headed creature. And as far as the world itself and just the vibrancy of the colors and just the art design in general, it's such a beautiful worldview. Everything from the light of the vibrant fields and beautiful clouds and sunlight washing over Link as he looks upon the landscape in front of him, to the dark, spouting evil of Ganon, sort of this purple, red, black light engulfing Hyrule Castle. Truly beautiful. And it reminds me again of sort of a Princess Mononoke design scheme, which a lot of people are noticing here, and I love it. It's a great choice. Sort of the theme of this video, as you can see, is taking from old and washing over it with a beautiful new light, and they're doing that once again with the art design and the characterization. So it's just so well done. I can't wait to see more. Number 5, gameplay. Need I even speak about the open world? It looks incredible. There's a lot of games lately that I think have failed at the open world. It seems that even all the Japanese franchises must make their games open world, and some are doing great, others kind of iffy. It seems that Zelda here has just nailed it in the most extreme and vibrant and perfect molded way into the Zelda universe. You have these sort of dungeons you can discover randomly, discover these mystical items, these ancient tools he can use to solve puzzles and destroy his enemies. It's just going to be so glorious. And we've seen so many different varieties of environments. From, I think we saw a beach, we saw a snow-covered field with a fox yawning and stretching out. We saw all these different dungeons and these deep forest groves where he had discovered Zelda in a pool. It's just so, so beautiful, and I think we're going to see more of that as we go into it. The wonder of it and just the exploration of Zelda that even in Ocarina of Time for Nintendo 64, Majora's Mask, with these, looking back in retrospective, very small maps, but it still retained that wonder of exploration. The same that you got as a child when you walked outside and discovered the world around you. So I'm excited for them to bring that back and expand on it, tap into our further expanded adult minds, and I think they're doing it in a fantastic way. Finally, number 6, story. Again, sort of a topic of controversy in the Zelda universe. A lot of people have sort of attacked Zelda for retelling a similar story over and over again, but I think they do struggle with, again, respecting our memories of the franchise and its fairy tale simplicity while pushing it into new directions and new boundaries. Now, I think what they've done here is they found a great middle ground of tapping into the imagery, the musical cues, and just the overall feel of the series while being able to tell a new story in that same realm of Ganon, evil ancient creature that must be put out, this darkness. Zelda herself, again, who's usually just a character who almost functions as a mystical item in herself, like an ancient, impossibly magical creature. You can't obtain her. She's always out of reach. You have to go save her. You just meet her in Ocarina of Time, and she's snatched away from you. And in this, it seems they've made her more of a character. They made her sort of implemented into the story. She reacts. She has emotions. She falls into Link crying her eyes out at, everything she's done has been for nothing. It's just these things that make me so excited to see how she can interact with Link. It seems they're actually adventuring together, which is extremely promising. Again, and I don't mean some sort of, escort mission, fetch quest nonsense. I mean a true companion in the story. And even, if it's for certain sections, because people do love the lonesome feel of Zelda, that just, you're on your own personal journey. So again, I'm just excited to see how they balance that and play that out while retaining a story. And we have this old man talking about what happened 100 years ago. Now again, Zelda is no stranger to amazing cutscenes and dramatic images, but again, to see it elevated with the voice acting, the music, again, which is clearly fully orchestrated this time around, and all these other cues, is truly going to be exciting. And I think it's going to push the boundaries of both Zelda and gaming in general, and kind of open up new opportunities for open world games to implement dramatic images. Those are my thoughts on why this game looks absolutely magical. Let me know what stood out to you in the comments. I'd love to chat with you guys more, or even talk story theories, which is a huge topic for this game, considering the implications in the Zelda timeline. If you like my vibe, I would love to have you as a part of the community, where I also teach drawing, martial arts, make short films and fight scenes, and all kinds of fun. So go ahead and use your master sword on that subscribe button, or if you think I earned it, leave me a like to support the channel. Have an amazing day, my friends, and start saving up those dollars for the Nintendo Switch.